Okay. Oh, hi guys. So today I'm going to be talking about an interview that I did a year ago, and I'm actually going to be talking about it on my YouTube channel. There's the interview somewhere around. I'll link the interview down below where I talked about this specific topic. It is about my biological father, my real dad, and how he didn't want me. I never talked about it in a video, but I feel like I should, since a lot of you have been messaging me recently about the topic. And before that too, you guys would talk to me about your situations and stuff. So I feel like it's unfair for me to just write about it or have somebody talk to me about it. I should come forward and talk to you about it myself and how I feel. So here we go with that. I'm outside, so welcome to the outside noises. A long time ago, when I was a little kid, I was about 9-10 years old. My biological father, my real dad, tried to come into my life and try and be a father to me, but he wasn't a really good father as he wanted to be. I always say that there's no such thing as a bad person in the world. It's just a person who does bad things. Like, there's not a bad dog, there's just a dog that does bad things. Like, the dog didn't intend to be a bad dog. It just pooped in the house. It doesn't make it a bad dog. It's just a dog that did bad things. This is really weird. Thanks, bird. I know you could do it. Love you too. And he picked us up one day, and the interview's down below if you want to read about it, so I'm not going to talk about the whole thing, repeat it again, but I'm going to go into depth. And it sucked and it was really weird. I'm okay with it now. I'm happy with my situation now. Tried to be in there, but he wasn't there, and I don't think that he really wanted me in his life, that it felt too much to have a child, I guess. Or if you're in the same situation, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like it's your fault, because it's not. I remember I felt for probably a split second, why was it my fault? Why didn't he want me? What was wrong with me? But nothing's wrong with me. Nothing. Nothing was wrong. It was just, maybe I wasn't at the right time, but I mean, you don't tell a kid that you don't want them anymore, because that's what he said. I remember we're on the phone at Thanksgiving, and I was calling him. I was ready to go spend Thanksgiving with his family, because I did once already, and it was pretty awesome. We all went around to the table, we said what we were thankful for, just like a normal family would. I was trying to grow a relationship with him, and to see where it would go, because my one dad was in Texas, and my real dad was in Chicago, so I felt like, oh my god, this is so cool, I'm gonna have two dads. Some kids in my school don't even have two dads. Some kids in my school don't even have one dad, and I was gonna have two dads, so it felt so cool. And my one dad was in Texas, so it felt like almost I didn't have a real dad, because then I was lying to my friends that my dad was on business trips, but he wasn't. He was starting a new family. And then my real dad was in Chicago trying to have a relationship with me, but he really wasn't, and it sucked. It sucked a lot, and I felt like we were trying to bond a little bit-ish. I have the same name, so for a long time I hated having my name. I hated my name Roberto so much, because it's his same name, but I always tell myself now, as I tell myself every day, it's not his. My name is not him. His is not me. I am me. My name is just a name. It's just Roberto. I don't get so sad about it. I just no, it's just a name. It's not like, hey, this is him. I am him now. I just know that it's me. I'm me. Does that make any sense? Because his name is Roberto, I used to be really distraught as a kid. I used to be so angry about my name. I used to always want to change my name. So in school, I always wanted the name David, because one, it's not his name, and in fairy tales, you can do what you want. And I already had my fairy tale, but obviously it's all torn up and ripped apart in a weird way, since my dad moved away and stuff. So in school, sometimes I would write my name as David. I remember telling my sister this, and a few other people only know this, but now you guys know it. It's here on the internet forever. So I would write David on my papers and stuff, and my name isn't obviously David, it's Roberto. So it sucked. It was really weird that somebody was coming into your life and then they say they didn't want you. It almost felt like a breakup, but we're not breaking up. You're supposed to be my dad. And if you don't want to be with somebody, you don't try and be with them, I guess. You wanted to say I'm your son, but then you don't want me in your life anymore, and you told me that that's it, you don't want me anymore because maybe you're bored or you're tired or you're done. Yeah, bird. Sucks. I remember I called him on Thanksgiving Day, and I'd call him, and I kept calling him, and he would ignore my calls, and then my calls would go straight to voicemail, and then he picked up once, and I said, hi, hey, I'm waiting for you. I remember I was looking out the window, The whole time I was looking out the window. I was about 9, 10, 11 years old. I kept looking out the window. I legit kept looking out the window, waiting and waiting, because he said and he promised. And to me, promises are a big deal. I keep my promises too. And I looked out the window, and I'm looking out the window, and he never came. And it's getting late, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And I'm like, no, he's gonna be here. He's gonna come and get me. I'm telling my biological mom this. And he didn't. He said he was busy at work. It was like 9, 10 o'clock at night. He said he was busy at work all day, so he couldn't come. And he'll see me when he sees me. And I was like, what do you mean you'll see me when you see me? And he's like, well, whenever I see you. I was like, so like next weekend or tomorrow? And he's like, no, I'll see you when I see you. I was like, that's weird. And I remember my heart sank, like, you know that ball you have right here? It was like really weird when you're about to cry, but it gets worse. I remember I felt like, I was like, oh, okay. And then he didn't say I love you, because he was starting to say I love you, and he'd always say I love you, but I never really said it. I would always like just say, oh, thanks. And I felt a little bad for saying that, but then I did it. I remember telling my uncle and my aunt that he would do that, and then my uncle told me, well, you don't have to say if you don't mean it, mijo. You could just say how you feel. And I would just say, okay. So whenever he would say I love you, I would just say, okay. I wouldn't say I love you back, because I never felt it. And because you don't try to buy your love too, it was like really weird. The next day I called him again, and I was really angry that he didn't answer my call, and that I didn't go to Thanksgiving with him. So I was really worried that maybe he wasn't gonna want to be my dad anymore, which was really weird and freaking me out still, that I still thought that as a kid. Like, oh, he didn't want to be my dad anymore. Like, if somebody didn't want to be your friend anymore, or like somebody didn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. Weird, right? But that's how I felt. So I called anyways, and I told them, and I had that ball in my heart, and my heart was pounding, and my foot was moving a lot really fast, because whenever I would be nervous when I was younger, my foot would like thump, 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 like Thumper and Bambi. He said, what's up? And I was like, what's up, motherfucker? What's up? I was like, oh, well, you haven't called me yet. You said you were going to call me, and it was going to be the next day, but I just wanted to call you right now to see when you were going to see me again, since you said you were going to see me soon, or see me whenever you see me. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, waiting for him to say something, but he didn't say anything. So it was just like, only for me to say something, which was really stupid to me. You're a grown man to say something. You're supposed to be a real dad, so be real. I asked him, I was like, so when did you want to see me again? And, you know, I was having fun. I think I liked my stepmom, which was his wife at the time. I liked her a lot more. A lot more. I loved her a lot. I actually loved her. She was a sweet woman. She's really sweet, kind. She has a big heart. And she's actually a really sweet person. We can still talk now. We actually got in touch soon. And she's actually a really sweet lady. Him, on the other hand, he has his own issues. Did you want to meet up or anything? And he said, look, I just want to tell you something. And it's so weird that it's good, but then it's weird that it's always like in the back of my mind that I remembered it. And he's like, look, I just wanted to tell you something. I was like, oh, what's up? And did you want to see me today? I was excited, but obviously it did not happen. I was like, oh, okay, so when did you want to see me? And he said that he was too busy to see me for a while. And I was like, what does it mean you're too busy to see me for a while? And then in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, that's what my other dad said. He was too busy. And I was like, oh, what does a while mean? Like, how long for a while? He didn't no longer have time for me in his life. And that he didn't... Ew, why am I crying? That's so annoying. He doesn't even deserve this tears. Just so frustrated. And that I was no longer going to be part of his life. That he didn't want to be part of my life. That I was old enough to just have my own life. And I remember I was like, I had that really, really big ball in my throat. Like, at this point, I already had it in my throat, and somebody like just grabbed it and yanked it out, and I was like empty inside, but I still wanted to cry. And I was like, oh, so you don't want to be my dad no more? He was like, it's kind of like that, but you can. He's like, but I just like don't want to be your dad right now. I was like, so, but it's just you're gonna leave again? So he said, yeah. He said he's gonna leave for a while, and he said he's gonna not talk to me. He didn't want to talk to me anymore. It felt like a friendship, but it wasn't a friendship. It was a family ship that we were supposed to be on together, but we weren't. So weird. He'll talk to me soon, and I was like, no, it's okay. You said you don't want to be my dad anymore. You don't want to be in my life anymore, so it's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to call me anymore. And he just kept saying, are you sure? I was like, yeah, it's okay. I don't need you. It's fine. Wow, this is like this so weird that I'm like saying this. So that pretty much all the calling did. I went to my grandma's house and I went to go play with my cousins and stuff, and my grandma said if everything was okay, and I was like, yeah, we're just playing with my cousin's video games. And then she was like, so have you seen Robert recently? I was like, no. He said he doesn't want me to be, I said, no, he said he doesn't want to be my dad anymore. It's okay. And I was just like playing PlayStation, like nothing. I was like, it's okay. And she's like, wait, what? And then she told my other cousins to leave to the other room while she needed to talk to me. So my grandma told me, what do you mean he doesn't want to be your dad anymore? I'm like, she grabbed me by my hands, we were in the kitchen, and I was like, oh yeah, he said he doesn't want to be my dad anymore, but it's okay, I don't care. She's like, Bobby, are you sure? I was like, yeah, we were on the phone for a while yesterday, and he said he doesn't want to be my dad anymore, but it's okay. And my grandma was crying, and it was like really weird, I guess because I still didn't get it. That's weird. I guess I didn't get it. Until she explained it to me, and I didn't get it, and she was like, if he doesn't want to be your dad anymore, I'm not crying because I'm sad, I'm just crying because you don't need that bastard. And I don't. But I think she was just more upset because that he just told me like that over the phone, like he didn't want to be my dad anymore. He didn't want to be a part of my life. I have a dad though, and he lives here in Texas. He's really good. Sometimes we argue, sometimes I don't agree with him, sometimes he doesn't agree with me, but he still loves me, and he always wants to be in my life no matter what. And even though I'm really weird and I have a dog and I say really weird things, and he always tells me he loves me too, and he always still gives me hugs and kisses, and my dad's always there. And when I cry sometimes, he hugs me, and then whenever he cries, I'm there for him, because my dad cries a lot right now. He's really emotional all the time because he's old. I wanted to share this story with you guys to tell you that just because someone is biologically your parents or your family or something, and they hurt you, or they don't want to be there for you, or they just want to like say see you later alligator, it's okay. You can say in a while crocodile, because you got this. You don't need them in your life, and the family you have now is pretty much perfectly amazing. I mean, we fight, we argue, we laugh, we cry, we do dumb things, but just like a normal family does, and it's okay. Sun is shining, cause look, there's a bright side to everything. It's so funny, the sun is like shining bright right now. Like Dory says in her movie Finding Dory, there's no plan to life. I don't have a plan to life. She didn't have a plan to life. I don't have a plan so far, and look where I am. I'm in a happy place. I am in a place in my life where, yeah, sometimes things are up and crazy and down and all around, but no matter what, I'm happy. And I try to, like Dory says, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, no matter what. And sometimes stuff feels really weird that it just goes on like that, but you gotta keep going with the punches, and don't worry about it, because life is all about doing crazy stuff, if that makes sense. But I wanted to tell you guys that if that happens to you, where somebody doesn't want to be in your life anymore, whether it be a family, a dad, a mom, it's okay. You don't have to feel hurt by it. Yeah, it takes a little while to be like, oh, that's weird, but you have to realize that you're your own person. You're beautiful, you're amazing, you're talented, you're smart, you're creative, you're a fighter, you're everything. And they're just missing out on the beautiful parts of your own life. That's yours. They can't see it, they can't be in it, because they decided not to be in it and not to see this beautifulness that's right amongst them. So I'll be telling you guys that in the next video, so stay tuned for that later today. And remember, as always, don't forget to smile, because you truly do mean the world to me, and I love you with every ounce of my heart. And remember, you are never, ever, ever alone in this world. And no matter what, you really are special.